Wednesday night, July 1st, 2020. Tonight we'll be doing something a little bit different. Usually we look at a topic in halacha. Tonight I decided to pick a topic related to the Perashat. We have a double Perashat this week, Hukat and Balaq. And I was going through a number of different works by Rabbi Haim Halevi. And I found this very interesting essay on Perashat Balaq, and specifically regarding Bil'ams, his curses, and the connection to our synagogues. And I thought it'd be interesting to see, especially since most of us haven't been to synagogue in a while, not only here, but throughout the world. And what are we lacking? What are we missing? And why do we need synagogue? So here we go. Matobu ohalecha Yaakov. How great, how beautiful, how wonderful are your tents, O Jacob. Shalosh nebuot niba Bil'am al Yisrael. So Bil'am had three prophecies. The first two, he said nothing on his own. And the first two, the Torah tells us that God placed the words in Bil'am's mouth. And they both deal with the foundations of the creation of our nation and the promise that we are going to exist eternally. B'nebu'ah rishona, and you could open up in your Humashim if you want. Mita'ir Bil'am et shorsheha shel ha'ummah. So in the first prophecy, Bil'am talks about the roots of the nation. ורואה אותם מיוסדים וחזקים כצורים וגבעות הללו על ידי אבות ואימהות. And she explains, based upon the Midrash, that he saw the roots of the nation as strong, fortified walls. Okay, fortified and strengthened and built up by who? By the forefathers and foremothers. And therefore he opened up his prophecy with the words, Ma ekob, I just want to get the exact words, Ma ekob lo kaboel, Uma iz'am lo za'am Adonai. Okay? And meaning what? How shall I curse who God did not curse? Why? Because of the strong roots. Any nation that was established by such parents can never disappear. I cannot curse them. They have that foundation that nobody can break away. Balaq, שיודע ומבין סודה של אומה זאת, בא אל בלעם בהסעת מוחכמת. Balaq, okay, who was the king, and he's the one who hired out Bil'am to curse the nation, he knew this, and he understood. So he came with some sound, wise advice, or so he thought. אמר לו בלק לבלעם, אם אין אתה יכול לקללם, כלל אומה אחרת וערב אותה עמהם. If you cannot curse this nation, the Jewish nation, curse another nation and make sure that the Jewish nation intermingles with that other nation. Amar lo, eni yachol. Bil'am told him, no, I can't do that. Hen am lebadad yishkon bagoyim lo yithashab. Why? They dwell alone. The Jewish nation does not intermingle with other people. مبدلين هم מהאומות בכל דבר, בלבושיהם, במאכלם, ובגופיהם, ובפתחיהם. They're different than everybody else. They dress differently, they eat differently, they look different, their homes are different. Everything is different about Jews. פירושים רבים נאמרו למקרא זה, וכולם נובעים מקור מחשבתי אחד. There are many different pirushim on this, but they all come from one mindset. כהגדרת המדרש נזכיר לעיל, מובדלים הם מהאומות. We are separatists. we separate ourselves from other nations. ולכן קיומו של העם היהודי מרתק את כל האנושות ביודעין ושלא ביודעין. And because of that, the world can't understand us. The world cannot fathom us. The world cannot deal with us. Okay, because we go against what everybody would think works. People get together, they intermingle, they become one. But the Jewish nation, no matter what happens, keeps staying apart. Atta bihartanu. We say it in our holiday Amidot. Atta bihartanu. You chose us. Bimuban haruhani shalam musag. In the spiritual sense of the word. כי הלא כל אדם בין לכל עם או גזע אחר יכול להתגייל לקבל בברכה בעם ישראל. Why? Because we're talking about the spiritual sense when we say Atah B'Hartanu, because anybody from any other nation or any other race or they came from any religion can convert and become part of Am Yisrael, and as such gain the beracha of being part of Am Yisrael. So it's a spiritual beracha we're talking about, and that sets we are set apart spiritually. And this nation of ours, we basically brought the knowledge and the acknowledgement of one creator, one God, the monotheism. וגם את כל ערכי התרבות הנאורים שהפכו לקנייני יסוד של התרבות האנושית ולכן אפשר לרדפו אך לא להשמידו. And basically we brought all foundations of culture and of ethics to the entire world. And every other current religion and race is based upon teachings of the Jewish religion. And therefore, you can chase after us, you can try to destroy us, but it will never happen.
Joey, who has the control of the paper? Could you move it down? Or
Paper, I believe Barry has the paper.
Because he's not on the second page, that's why.
I'm on the second page, yes.
Okay.
Barry, you following the page or no? I guess you are. Okay. Hanibu'ah Hashaniyah, we're on the fourth line, beginning of that paragraph. Hanibu'ah Hashaniyah, af hi hu sama bifi Bil'am. This second prophecy now was also placed into the mouth of Bil'am. Okay. ובה מתאר הוא את בחירת עם ישראל כאירוע היסטורי בלתי הפיך שהלא גם כאשר חוטא העם לאלוהיו מעלים הוא עיניו. Explains and describes the chosenness of the Jewish nation as a historic event that can never be turned around. Because even when the Jewish nation sins, God looks the other way. He closes his eyes to it. And this is something that we say in our Amidah on Rosh Hashanah. It's a recurring thought that we have, and a recurring concept. Basically, not that he doesn't see, rather he doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to look at this. Because if he sees, then he may get so angry that the punishment may actually blow up the nation. And therefore, how do we complete it? With another pasuk, okay, bottom line is we're going to sin and we're going to repent. And God is going to look the other way and God is going to forgive us. Now those are the first two prophecies of Bil'am. And those were placed into his mouth by God. We're going to get to the third prophecy now that he himself said. Okay, they basically are outside the Spirit of God. This was a godly spirit that was in Bil'am himself that caused him to say so. כמו בשתי הנבואות הראשונות. These words were not placed in his mouth. כי עתה כאמר הבין בלעם. Because at this point now Bil'am understood. כי טוב בעיני אדוני לברך את ישראל, ולא הלך כפעם בפעם לקראת נחשים. Now he understood what God wanted, what God was thinking. And he realized that what's good in God's eyes is to bless this nation. And it's not good to follow in the ways of the Nehashim. The Nehashim are the snakes, the serpents, okay? In other words, in a sinister fashion. And once he came to that realization and he admitted the truth to himself, meaning what? The Targum tells us Ruach Elohim is Nebu'ah. He had real prophecy. Okay, this is pure prophecy. بشارات علوهي روح نبوءة من قدام أدوناي. بخيم بيرش قام هرمبان كان رمبان موشي بار نحمانديس. ועוד מגדולי המפרשים והנשיא פירש רוח הקודש. And many great Hachamim explained that this is רוח הקודש. ולכן נבואה זאת היא החשובה שבכל נבואותיו. And therefore, this is the most important of all three prophecies of his. כי ממנה נדע מה חשב בלעם על ישראל. Because this is the only true way to know what Bil'am thought of Israel. שכן בנבואה זאת הוא מתאר את גדולתו של עם ישראל על כל מרכיביה. In this prophecy, he talked about and explained in detail, okay, the greatness of Am Yisrael from all aspects. ולפי דברי רבותינו, כל מה שאמר בנבואה זאת הוא ההפך ממה שחשב תחילה כשרצה לקללם. And based upon the teachings of our Hachamim, everything that he said in this nebu'ah was the exact opposite of what his original intention was to say to curse the nation. וזו לשונם במסכת סנהדרין דף ק"ה עמוד שני. The Hachamim in the Gemara, Masechet Sanhedrin, what do they say? Matobu ohalecha Yaakov, how great are your tents, O Jacob. Amar Rabbi Yohanan, miberchotav shel oto rasha, ata yodea ma haya b'libo. From the words of the blessings that this Rasha Bil'am gave to Am Yisrael, we knew what was naturally in his heart. Bikesh lomar, he wanted to say that they should not have synagogues or houses of learning. He said the opposite. How great are your tents, Jacob. He wanted to say, let the Shekhinah now not rest upon them. Mishkon, from the same Hebrew root of Shekhinah. Okay? Resting, dwelling, and that's the Shekhinah, which comes to rest and dwell. Bikesh lomar lo tehem malchutam nimshechet amar kin halim nitayu. Let their kingdom not continue. And then he said instead, kin halim nitayu. Let flowing rivers. In other words, they never stop. Bikesh lomar lo yelahem zetim v'kiramim. He wanted to say, let them not have olive fields or vineyards. Amar kiganot ali nahar. Let them be like gardens on the river edges. Obviously, those grow the best and they last longer because they have a tremendous source of water. Bikesh tamar lo yeh lehem rehan odef. He wanted to say, let them not have a smell, a odor, a fragrance that travels. Amar ke'ohalim nata Adonai. No, they are like tents that were planted by God. So if something was planted by God, obviously it's going to have a pleasant fragrance. Bikesh lomar lo yiyu lahem melachim ba'alei koma. Let them not have kings that are worthy of their stature. Amar ka'arazim alei mayim. Let them be like cedar trees. Cedar trees are the strongest trees. Let them be, upon the water, which strengthen the roots. Bikesh lomar lo yiyu lahem melech ben melech. Let the kingdomship not continue. Amar izal mayim midaleyav. Let the water keep dripping from its pails. In other words, it never ends. Let the kingdom of Israel not have any sort of influence on other nations. Okay, planted in strong waters. Let nobody fear their kingdom. Let the kingdom rise higher and higher. كلام حازروا للكلالة حوس من بتي خنيسيوت وبتي مدراشوت. All these things that we mentioned ended up becoming a kelala later on. They all became a curse later on because we lost them all. Okay, all the things having to do with kingdom and vineyards and olive orchards and anything else, we lost all except for the first one. Matobo ahalecha Yaakov. We continued with our bate knesiyot and our bate midrashot shneimar ויהפוך אדוני אלוהיך לך את הקללה לברכה. קללה ולא קללות. Okay, ויהפוך אדוני אלוהיך לך את הקללה לברכה. And may God change for you the kelala in the singular, the curse, to the beracha, the blessing. It says over here, the pasuk says kelala, curse in the singular, velo kelalot, not curses in the plural. So basically, there were a bunch of curses that he had in mind. All of them he ended up saying as blessings instead. We lost those blessings. They ended up reverting to curses, but not all of them. One remained with us, and that was the beracha of our synagogues and houses of study. כל מסכת ברכות זאת שבפי בלעם נכפתה עליו ברוח הנבואה ששרתה עליו. אך כאמור, מתוכן אתה למד שהיה בדעתו לקללם בהיפוך גמור מהברכות שברכם. Like we said, you could tell from the berachot what his original intention was to curse them. אך בסופו של דבר כל אותן ברכות חזרו לקללות חוץ מבתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות שנאמר ויהפוך אדוני אלוהיך לך את הקללה לברכה, כלומר קללה אחת שהיה בדעתו מתחילה לקללה שלא יהיה להם בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות. So the original one is what his original thought process was to deal with the first topic. He felt by eradicating houses of worship and houses of study, he would automatically cause the nation to falter and to move away from God, from the Torah. And that's why that was the first thing that he said, and that's why that is the thing that never went away. And that was the one thing that we kept throughout history. That's the one thing that God turned into an eternal beracha. And even though the other things were a beracha for us for a while, they ended up reverting to curses. Now, some of these things we've seen in the last 70 years, some of these things coming back to us, in the state of Israel, and hopefully we'll be seeing more and more of these kelalot coming back as berachot. Now, let's go back. Tehillah, on the top of page Shin Mem Tet. Tehillah nefarish minayin yadu rabotenu sheberacha ha'ahad shelo hazla l'kelala hi batei knesiyot u'batei midrashot. So how did the Hachamim know that this was the one beracha that would remain as a beracha, not be a kelala? The issue of batei knesiyot and batei midrashot. והלא בתורה נכתב שאיתם קללה וברכה. The Torah just says קללה and ברכה. It doesn't tell us which one. ואולי הכוונה לאחרת. Maybe the intention was for something else. המהר שפירש קללה ולא קללות, היינו הראשונה שביקש לקללך על בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות, שאז היא הייתה קללה אחת, אבל כל השאר כשביקש לקללן היו קללות עד כלשונו. So this I already explained a second ago when I said that the original one, the first thing that he said was his main intention, and therefore it was the first one that remained as the beracha and not the kelala. Abal, la'aniyut da'ati. Now Rabbi Haim David Halevi is saying, in his opinion, he sees things differently. He says, nir'eh b'fshitut ki rabotenu ra'u et ha'mesiut ha'historית shel Am Yisrael. He goes, no, we don't have to sit and play guessing games over here. The Hachamim saw history. They were students of history. They understood the truth of what's going on in the world. Ra'u Mikdash Shaharab Besiluk Shekhinah. They saw the temple in Yerushalayim destroyed. They saw the Shekhinah was no longer there. Ra'u Shamalchut Yisrael Lo Nimshechah. They no longer saw a Jewish kingdomship. Ra'u Yisrael Begalutam Lelo Zetim Karim. They saw Israel in the Galut, in exile, without land, without plants, without orchards, without fields, nothing. Taviyim v'sehufim b'galutam, downtrodden in the galut. Ve'en re'hamat tov nodef, and nobody looks at a Jew in a positive way. U'kshebatla malchutam, harei shelo hayu, lo ba'alei koma v'lo melech ben melech b'vadeh shelo shata b'chutam ba'umot. And once it was no longer a Jewish kingdom, and they were scattered and exiled throughout the world, they couldn't hold their head up high. They weren't proud to be Jews among the nations of the world. Nobody cared about them. People made fun of them. So this was the truth, and therefore they knew which berachot ended up becoming kelalot. Ve'ilu batei chenisiyot u'batei midrashot notiru beYisrael bechol hadorot. But our synagogues and batei midrash, they remained for Am Yisrael throughout the generations, ubechol hatenaim ha'masavim, and under any and all conditions. ומכאן שזו הברכה שלא חזר לקללה ועליה רמז הכתוב ויהפוך אדוני אלוהיך את הקללה לברכה. And therefore they knew how to explain the pasuk, which beracha rather never reverted to a kelala. Now moving forward. ואם אדוני אלוהינו בחר בברכה זאת מטובו אוהליך יעקב אלו בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות. Now, if this is the one thing that God decided to choose, this is what He wanted to have for us. That being the case, then keep it eternal for all generations. If that's the case, that means this is the most important beracha. Hashivuta birura mubinet. And now we have to understand its importance. כל היסודות שעליהם נבנו שתי הנבואות הראשונות, שורשיה של האומה ובחירתה וכן חוסנה הקיומי הנצחי, הופשרו בגלות הארוכה רק בזכות בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות, שהיו מבשרי הקיום של האומה. All our importance and everything that we know about of our nation, everything that Bil'ams brought about in his first two nebuot that God placed in his mouth, are all dependent upon having synagogues and houses of study. Because without it, like I said before, we're not a nation. Nothing can happen. We do not have the chokhmah, we do not have the beauty, we do not have the connection, we do not have a reason to keep going on as a Jewish people. כי אף שבגלותה ארוכה נשארו חלקים גדולים ממנה, מי בחר ומי בשמת כאמור, and even though we as a nation were downtrodden, we were destroyed, we were beaten, we were killed, we were maimed, okay? And the pasuk says, "Va'abatem b'goyim v'achaleh etchem eretz oivechem." Okay? He goes, and I'm going to destroy you through the other nations, God told us when He cursed us. Okay, for our sins, obviously. But nonetheless, ואלמלא הגלות צריך היה עם ישראל למנות מאות מיליונים שהיו צריכים להתפשט על פני המרחב הים תיכוני כולו. And if you think about it, if the Jewish people were never attacked or exiled or killed or maimed or attacked, then bottom line, by today we should be, a few 100 million, he's telling us. Okay, in other words, millions of people, and we should have taken over the entire Mediterranean region, at least. כל המקום אשר תדרוך כף רגליכם, בו לכם יהיה מן המדבר והלבנון, מן הנהר, נהר פירת, ועד הים האחרון יהיה גבוליכם. Right? God promised that wherever we're going to walk, we're going to spread, we're going to take over. That's going to be our land. So think about the nations or the world, the way it was known, the way it was known in the days of the Torah. So that covers basically the entire Middle Eastern region, part of Africa, part of Asia. We should have, taken over the whole thing. אף על פי כן עצם השתלטותו של עם ישראל בגלותו אף במתי מעט הופשרו רק בזכותם של בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרש. But we were beaten, we were downtrodden, we were killed, and only that portion of us that remained was the part that remained in the zechut of the synagogues and the Batei Midrash. Now he brings us a very interesting personal story, Rabbi Haim Halevi. And this, to me, from here till the end, really captures the essence, in my opinion. באחת מנסיעותיי בארצות הברית, שהייתי בניו יורק, בשליחות מחלקת העלייה של הסוכנות היהודית. In one of my trips to the United States, I was in New York, and I was there as an emissary for the Department of Aliyah for the Jewish Agency of Israel. באחת מהופעותיי שם, and in one of my appearances there, I would have to go, I have to speak, I have to talk to people about Israel, etc. שבה תיארתי כמובן את כל מעלותיה של ארץ ישראל, and I was there, I spoke about all, the good of Eretz Israel and everything Israel had to offer. נשאלתי על ידי יורד בלשון זו בערך. I was questioned by a person who was from Israel, but made yeridah. He left Israel and went down to America. And he asked me this question, more or less. תגיד לי, כבוד הרב, האם ניו יורק קדושה יותר מישראל? Tell me, Rabbi, is New York holier than Israel? שכן בארץ ישראל לא ביקרתי בבית כנסת יותר מאשר 3 או 4 פעמים בשנה. Because when I lived in Israel, I only, went to visit a synagogue maybe 3-4 times a year. ואילו כאן אני מבקר בבית הכנסת עם ילדיי מדי שבת בשבתו מקבלת שבת עד אחר הבדלה. And here in New York, I go to synagogue with my children every Shabbat from Friday night all the way through to the end of Saturday night. עניתי לו ספונטנית, and I give him a spontaneous answer. ההפך הוא הנכון. The exact opposite is true. ארץ ישראל היא ארץ הקודש. Israel is ארץ הקודש, it's the Holy Land. ואילו ארצות הברית טמאה בטומאת ארץ העמים. Okay? It is impure. It's tameh. With all the tum'ah of all the people of the land. אלא שבארץ ישראל היית בטוח בהשתלטותך כיהודי. But when you lived in Israel, you were sure. You were sure of yourself as a Jew and in remaining a Jew and being connected to Judaism. לא הסיקה לך שום מחשבה שמא חלילה וחס בנך יישא גויה ונכדיך יהיו גויים. The thought that you would lose Judaism, that your child would marry a goya or your grandchildren would be goyim, never entered your mind. כאן אולי אתה חושב על כך, או אולי בתת קרתך יודע אתה שסכנה כזאת קיימת. But here, maybe you think of things like that, or maybe you know they exist, you know that they could happen. ולכן אתה נאחז בהיעדותך, and therefore you're holding on, you're clinging to the Judaism that you have. ואין מקום טוב יותר מבית הכנסת לשמור על יהדותך ויהדות בניך. And there's no better place to hold on to your Judaism than the synagogue, and that's why you also take your children there so they also stay clinging to Judaism. אבל זכור, but don't forget, שגם בארץ ישראל, שבה ההסתעדות כיהודי מובטחת, הרי שזו יהדות ברכה מתוכן רוחני יהודי אמיתי ללא בית כנסת. But don't think you could just live in Israel and have no connection to the Beit Knesset. Because if you do, that's an empty Judaism. That's not a real Judaism, and that's not a Judaism that's going to retain itself. יהודי שאינו מבקר קבוע בבית כנסת, הוא כאבר מדולדל באומה בחינה רוחנית יהודית. A Jew who does not frequent the synagogue on a regular basis, think of it as a limb that's dangling from your body, disconnected. You have a let's call it a disconnected shoulder, for example. Okay, it's out of its socket and just dangling there. It's not doing anything. It's not functioning. It's not connected. That's what you are. Mincha lo yada lomar kaddish acharecha. Yeah, you could be living in Israel, not go to Knis. You're going to die, and your son is never going to know how to say kaddish for you. And he'll definitely never know how to read the maftir. So therefore, when you have the zechut to return to Israel, don't forget, when you return to Israel, continue to frequent the Beit Knesset, because that way your Judaism will be complete. So this was his spontaneous answer to this Yored. Now he writes, when I returned to my hotel room, and I kept thinking about this conversation that I had with this gentleman, נזכרתי שרעיון של שיחתנו כבר נאמר על ידי רבותינו במסכת מגילה, דף כ"ט על הפסוק ביחזקאל פרק י"א. He goes, at that point, that's when I remembered there's a Gemara in Masechet Megillah that deals exactly with this conversation, with this issue that I just discussed with this gentleman over here. And the pasuk in Yehezkel, לכן כה אמר אדוני, כי הרחקתים בגויים, וכי הפיסותים בארצות, ויהי להם מקדש מעט בארצות אשר באו שם. Therefore God said that I distanced them among the goyim, and I spread them out in the lands, and I was there for them as a mikdash me'at, as a small sanctuary. Ba'arasot asher ba'u sham, in those lands that they were there. Ve'zu lashon ha'Gemara, what the Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Yishak, elu batei kenisiyot ubatei midrashot shebabel. Rabbi Yishak says these are the synagogues and the houses of study in Babel. Babel was obviously Babylonia. That is the Galut in his mind. That's where he was. Kalomar, hatahlif ba'arsot hagalut le'er Israel u'mikdash Hashem sheharab hi bet Knesset. Meaning what? What is the substitute in the lands of the Galut for an Eretz Israel and for a Bet Mikdash that Hashem destroyed? Only substitute we have is the Bet Knesset. ולכן נקרא מקדש מעט, and therefore it's called מקדש מעט, a small sanctuary, a mini sanctuary, a taste of the sanctuary. גם המתרגם ביחזקאל תרגם כן, ויהביט להום בתי כנשתה תניין לבי מקדשה. And even the Targum, okay, the Aramaic translation on the side of the page, says, I will be for them bate kinishta, house of gathering, meaning Bet Knesset. Okay, for a bit mikdash. He's telling us over here that in Babel, in Babylonia, that's where the first synagogues were established. Okay, that's where the Jewish people were able to gather to hold on and to create a center for their Judaism and to remain as Jews. הגמרא מוסיפה שם, the Gemara adds, דרש רבה, מה דכתיב? אדוני מעון אתה היית לנו בכל דור ודור. God, מעון, you were for us in every generation. What's that? אלו בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות. What's this מעון? This מעון is בתי כנסיות, again, and בתי מדרשות. רבה, Gara medaber b'Yishak milat shebebabel. So Rabbi is commenting now on the word shebebabel, like we said before, Babylonia. ובכך הוסיף על דבריו רעיון גדול מאוד. And he added another great idea. לא בגלות בלבד בתי הכנסת הם מעוזים ומבשרים לקיום האומה. Not only in the Galut is the Bet Knesset the fortress for the continuation of Am Yisrael, אלא גם בארץ ישראל, מעון. This word מעון, which is the Bet Knesset, is also important. אתה היית לנו בכל דור ודור, because you're for us for every generation. גם בגלות וגם בישראל, בתקופת הבית השני. And even in Israel, at the time of Beit Sheni, they had the second temple, but you had Jews that were living outside of Israel. Bifnei Habayit, B'shelo Bifnei Habayit. So whether you were by the Beit Sheni, not by Beit Sheni, you still had a bit Knesset to connect you. So whether you were connecting with God at the Beit HaMikdash or outside the Beit HaMikdash, Hayu Beit Hashem Mikdash Mi'at. This was the spiritual fortress of the nation. Okay, and this is what gave us the strength to continue as a Jewish nation. And therefore Borei Olam, who saw the future, knew how to take Bil'am's words and give him that Ruach HaKodesh in him, so he could make this Kelala into eternal Beracha for us. Shechol Berchotav Hazru the Kelalot Haus min Berkat Matobu Alecha Yaakov, because this is the eternal blessing for us, Matobu Alecha Yaakov, Shinishara Beracha li Yisrael Dorot Olam. There remained a Beracha for Am Yisrael for all generations. Gam B'Yisrael v'gam b'Galut el b'tekin esu b'tem midrashot. This is what we see till today, that the synagogue is the epicenter of the Jewish nation. People come and try to make, JCC, or whatever it may be, but without the tefillot, without the Torah, we have no real connection to God. This is what keeps us connected and keeps us going. And this is a beautiful message, I think. But the question is, and this is troubling now, we're outside of the realm of synagogue. At least most of us haven't returned to synagogues due to Corona and COVID-19 and what have you. And are Zoom classes replacing that? Are outdoor minyanim, poolside, replacing that? What's lacking over here? I thought we'd have a lot more people tonight to really discuss this, and that's why I thought it'd be a good topic. But I don't know if we'll get much out of it. So you guys tell me. Unmute yourselves and give me some feedback. Tell them, Batesh, you're cracking up. You hated the topic, probably.
Joey, there's some things that we're discussing here, and a lot of it does pertain to today, in the sense when he was talking about kilalot and everything, about these curses and everything. We have the kilalot right now because if you think about it, Corona is a kilalot for here. It's keeping us away from the synagogues. So maybe by us making this a little bit stronger for us, and everything, a lot of us are now getting back into it because we missed the synagogue. Maybe the synagogue now will be very strong because people will be missing it. And once we could get back in, and people will want to get back into it. So this way we can,
maybe. The question is how safe is it to go back? See? Tough question.
I don't think anybody knows.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody has any idea.
And they can't give us the straight answers anyway.
They don't know. How can they give you a straight answer if they have no idea?
You get different opinions.
They're still learning about it every day.
Mm-hmm. They have a little bit more control because people are not many are going into the ICUs. So they're getting a little bit more control of it with certain medications, but that's it.
Right.
Maybe that might help us, down the line.
Maybe you're right. Only time will tell. We have to wait and see.
But
Barry, Nisim, somebody?
It does pertain to today.
Okay. Yeah, Barry.
I don't know what to say. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. I mean,
thoughts, ideas?
No ideas, thoughts. 4 months of not going to synagogue for me and for I guess a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long time. For certainly the longest time in my life, I think, of not going.
Right.
To say I've gotten used to it, yeah, I have gotten used to it. The rabbi friend of mine, Rabbi Moses Haber, he said he fears that a lot of people will get too comfortable with the status quo and not really want to go back. He could be right.
It will definitely happen. It will definitely happen. Because they're going to say, listen, we did fine without it. Why do we need it now?
Yeah.
You know, you also have those that say, listen, we've been forming our own minyanim. Why do we need a central location? And that, once again, brings me back to how does that tie in with what we just studied?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I said, I don't have much to comment on myself. I just happened to read the essay last night. I thought it was very interesting. I enjoyed it, and I wanted to share it. And I thought it would spark discussion. But maybe we're all still, you know, not sure of ourselves.
Did anybody see I saw these in a couple of papers about, you know, they complained about, you know, this whole corona, and this is a weird theory, but the corona is God's way of punishing us for talking in the synagogue.
Well, I've definitely heard many rabbis say it. I didn't hear them say that it's God's way of punishing us, but rather that it's teaching us a lesson, because here we are praying at home, we're not talking. So if you could do that, you know, while you're praying at home, so do that when you're in the synagogue. You know, I heard it in that respect, in that style, but not as a, you know, it's a punishment or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
here in Florida, they're starting to go back. We're starting to go back in Florida.
Okay, but here in Brooklyn, too, people are going back. But I'm not going back. I'm still not comfortable going. There are plenty of people. There are places that have social distancing, and you know, and they're very careful. Nobody under 13, nobody over 65, and there are places where it's a free for all, and you know, every seat is taken. Nobody's wearing a mask, and anybody of all ages is welcome to attend.
That's crazy.
Okay, but you're seeing it on the same block. You're seeing one synagogue like this, one synagogue like that.
It's the same thing when they go out to bars and everything. These kids, they're going out without masks. They're going out with all this stuff.
Exactly. So, okay, so we're not going to compare, you know, the Beit Knesset to a bar.
No.
Okay, so what's the right thing to do? What lesson can we take from this? So right now, let's say Shabbat morning, I'm praying by somebody's, you know, backyard, and the minyan has increased week after week over the course of the last month. Originally with 25 people, and this past Shabbat we're at 70 people. You know, so there is definitely a need and a want for people to be praying with the minyan, to be praying in a communal setting. But prayer and leaving, that's it. You know, Shahrit, Sefer, Musaf, out. There's no talk of any kind. You know, there's no class, there's no breakfast, no kiddush, because you want to minimize social, you know, a social setting. You want to keep that concept of social distancing alive. Like here, Nisim, what about you? What have you been doing? Have you been praying in Knis, not praying in Knis? You praying by a friend's house, praying by a Eid?
Yeah. I just in Brooklyn I wasn't, and when I came here I started praying. I hadn't been in shul for the entire period, and then this, you know, in Jersey I've just been going to David Cannon.
All right.
Now I'm going almost.
I'm sorry?
Every day? You froze.
No.
You froze, Nisim. We don't hear you.
Yeah, I know. I said I've been going every. I said I've been going every day, but only because it's outside. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't go.
Right. I don't know. It's a very, very tough decision as to what to do, what not to do, and how to move forward. You know, and
well, I like the outside minyan and everyone's separated. 10,
I like
20
it too. I like it too. But now it's good. Let's say it rains. Now what?
Yeah, There's an issue. We have an awning, but it's a little bit closer. Everyone's a little closer.
But how big of an awning? How many people are you talking about?
20 people. No, the truth is, it's not easy. If it rains, it's an issue.
Right.
But thank God we've been lucky.
Yes, thank God we've been lucky. I agree, but I keep thinking, what's going to happen that Shabbat that it's going to rain? That's it. We're out. We had one Shabbat like that in the beginning where we weren't able to, like not in the beginning. I'm talking about in the beginning of going to Jersey, the end of May, like Memorial Weekend, and we weren't able to get together outside to pray.
So what we've been doing is we've been actually watching the weather. So and also speeding up if you had to while the weather was nice to make sure.
Fine.
There's a lot of things,
Yes,
but it's
absolutely.
a real rain, nothing you can do.
Right. Nothing you could do. And now so now this all works very nice and well, in deal where there's a lot of room, a lot of land, and the weather is nice. If this continues and we get back to Brooklyn, we don't have any place, and it becomes fall and winter, you definitely can't do anything like this. So you're back to praying by yourself.
Yeah, but you're going to stores and everything else with people. You could social distance inside also. Reality.
In reality, I
And
don't know.
I went to synagogue in Brooklyn.
See, I won't go. I won't go.
I was there.
I'm not comfortable yet.
It felt safe.
I guess I guess it depends on how many people are there.
Yeah, it was 20, 25 people, big room. They sprayed it down and everything.
Right. 20, 25 people in a big room, maybe you feel safe. But if if you're 200 people in a room, then what?
I won't go.
Thank you. Okay, so now Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are coming.
Well, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? We don't have enough space for everybody.
No, you don't have enough space.
Unless you have 10 in everybody's house, in a house that could hold 10 and social distance, that's the only way you could do it.
Right. I think it's a major issue, and none of the rabbis and none of the synagogues are addressing it.
Nobody's
Maybe they're hoping for a vaccine in September.
No, it's not.
I don't think there's any vaccine in September, and if there is, I think anybody who tries it is playing Russian roulette.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't take the vaccine until I know it's 100%.
Exactly, and by them rushing it, there's going to be problems.
Yep. You could die from it.
Of course.
I'd rather see them get drugs to help more than anything else. Antibacterial drugs.
They have to figure something out. But I think it's very important that the rabbinic leaders, the lay leaders, they have to deal with this issue because Rosh Hashanah is around the corner.
It's early this year.
Early, not early. We're talking about 2.5 months away. It's here.
The only good thing, Joey, Saturday is not blowing shofar. That's it. We don't have to blow shofar on Saturday.
Okay.
So you only blow one day. So basically, that's a little bit of a,
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is congregating.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire issue.
When you have 50, 60 guys in each minyan, you can't, even 100 and 200 in there, you can't fit it all in. Especially called Nidrei night. What are you going to do when they're packed room to room?
The place is packed. You have hundreds and hundreds of people. Take a building like Shaddai Sion, for example. You have thousands in there. Easy 2,000 people on Rosh Hashanah or Kippur. Now what? What are you going to do? You can't social distance like that. It's impossible.
You're going to have to rent out halls and different things.
Right, but there's
people.
But there's how many halls are there? Where are they?
Right, where are they?
You don't have
restaurants. I don't know.
You're right, but so it's 2.5 months away. Has to be dealt with from now. You can't wake up, Erev Rosh Hashanah and start dealing with it. I think people don't want to think about it. That's all I'm saying. All right.
The virus has changed.
Yeah, it's definitely changed, and we don't know what's going to happen with it.
Nope.
I had one thought, by the way, about the what you read, Joey.
Yes, please.
In what you read, the rabbi says he meets a guy in New York, and but when he describes what he felt, he says, "I went down to America, like a boat went down to Egypt." You know, and they lowered
That's the
themselves
way it's always
spiritually.
referred to. We talk about making aliyah, you're going up to Israel. So the
Right.
opposite is yeridah, is a yored, the person who goes down. You have a oleh and you have a yored.
I have heard of going up, making aliyah. I never heard of it used
No,
in that way.
it's very, very commonly said.
Very common.
Even the
Yerida.
guy who has aliyah to the Torah, it's very common thing is the oleh, and he's coming down, he's the yored.
Got
In
it.
Israel, you hear it all the time.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know. Shows you what I know about Hebrew.
Yeah, and you're the one born there.
That's right.
All right. Anyway,
All right.
Great class, Joe.
I guess we're done for tonight. Let's
All
think
right.
about this, and if we have answers, let's discuss it. I wanted to
Okay.
get into a more detailed halachic topic, but I didn't have enough time to prepare it. So hopefully for next week we will. And another topic I've been looking into now is Rabbi Uziel and how he may not have followed the general Sephardic tradition in certain halachot, but he followed a family tradition among the Hazan and Palachi families, which had a different view on certain halachot, and he kept with their family view. Talking about issues, whatever. Let me see if I can do more research into it, and if I can have it prepared for next week or the week after, that's going to be something that I look forward to dealing with. All right, so keep that in mind, and we're off. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Have a great week. Have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Yeah, Nisim, you want to say something?
No, I was just saying good night.
Good night.
Good
All right.
night.
Take care, everybody.
Barry, end the meeting, please, if you can.
Yeah, Barry.
Thank you.